Hey, this is Paora. How you doing? I've got some really interesting material today that I want to share with you. And I'm going to try and mix it up a little bit. I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to share with you some information I got from the goddess. And then I'm going to do a live broadcast where I'm connecting with them directly off the cuff. So it'll be a combination of two things, and I hope they both work for you. I had a question that came up for me because this happened for years. But sometimes I learn from stuff, sometimes I don't. And this is what I wrote. This is what I said. The question is if I will overcome the fears and do what I love. And I share this stuff with you guys because, not because I'm like an idiot, not because, well, I guess I'm kind of afraid of things. I really want things to be great for everybody, and I really want these ideas to come across well, and so I hedge my bets a lot, and I hesitate, and I'm afraid of what you'll think of me and how it will turn out, what will be interpreted. Okay, blah, 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 blah. So this has been going on forever, so I just want to like get rid of it, but this is the way I do it. I ask these questions, and they come back with some great stuff. I said, I bet I can get much better at this if I just practice and see if the words will come that will be true gems and those that people want to listen to over and over. That's my quest. It will take practice, and I want to get over my worries about what people think by doing it repeatedly, so eventually it gets really good, or at least better because it's already excellent. So this was my inquiry. This is my process, and can be your process, where you ask a question and then get quiet and listen. And in this case, I record it with my computer, and this is what I got. So this is the goddess talking to me directly, and I hope it really resonates with you. It's something that you really can enjoy. It is important to follow your desires in this matter. The process of communicating with us verbally and mentally is very difficult. Whew. That's the understatement of the year. You must turn away all your fears, turn off your mind to distractions, and then focus on translating the ideas in the most pure and beautiful ways possible. Yeah, that's it. You tend to focus on what others think about you when you share, but this is a smaller portion of what you can gain from the process. People will hear different things than what you can possibly imagine when you are talking with us. They will interpret what you say in unique ways, and you have no control over what they think. This is the thing I have to keep reminding myself, is that you're going to interpret whatever I say to you in any way you want, and in multiple ways because of your experience, your background, your history, who you are, your interpretation of what the divine is, all these things. It's going to be completely unique, and I need to let go and stop trying to control this and just let you do what you do, and hopefully it's really great for you. More importantly, you must practice to the point where you are exhausted if you want to excel in this or any other endeavor, right? Many times you only get the best ideas when you are very tired from hours of work, because then your mind is clear and you are running on pure desire. This is a great place to have the biggest insights and the sincerest expressions. I think it's so beautiful. I want and I need to spend more time where I get really, really tired and my mind is clear so I can share. What I want to do is I want to create these gems, these masterpieces of ideas and thoughts that when you hear them, they're just like totally inspired and feel good about your life and about what's possible. Remember that this is primarily for you to explore. This is about you finding your deepest and most profound concepts. I say this is about you because it is a way of exposing your divine nature, and that discovery takes eons because you are so deep and so complex, just like everyone else. How much do you know about your depth and your divinity and how deep and complex you are? This is really, really a great concept. How will you uncover all this depth if you do not begin and continue endlessly? Self-discovery is a very interesting arena to fight in. Yes, I understand that you feel like this is narcissistic. But it is more about discovery of ideas and awareness than it is about you. Others can learn from your exposure because we are all connected and very similar conceptually. Any person who can find new light, find new insights, is exposing everyone else as well. So most of what you are doing is discovering the universe at the personal level that everyone else can relate to. If any person wants to explore, they can. But how many people have you found who want to? If people want to share their own connections, they are free to do so, and many do. If you're one of those people that wants to explore this connection, I am in with you. I will take whatever time it takes to get you to that place where you have a connection that's direct and conversational. However, each person is unique in their expressions, so it behooves you to share what you can learn because it can enhance what others sense and inspire others to develop their own versions of universal and personal discovery. You need not hold back or feel obvious. I feel obvious a lot. Okay. Each expression is a new version of what you can be, and others, especially others who choose not to connect publicly, can learn from any source that is willing to be vulnerable and expose their all. You could share what you communicate with us for the rest of eternity and still not get to all the topics and the nuances of what you are and can be. Now is a great time to begin because this is going to be a very long conversation made from a lot of smaller conversations stitched together beautifully. Isn't that beautiful? I just love the insights and the wisdom that comes my way as a result of making these inquiries. And the ideas are so profound, so deep, and so motivating. And it also gets me thinking in a more accurate, more precise vein than I was before, where I'm focusing on me and how I feel and all that stuff. It's like, it's not about me, it's more about sharing the light and interesting ideas that come because others can feel and sense and record these ideas in their brain so that you are inspired and in a different place as a result of this. So I'm thinking that this is the motivation, this is the intention that I want, and that is to be able to share with you the best I possibly can and to give you the best ideas. And I hope you can just like sit back or stand back, whatever you're doing, and just absorb all this. It's so great. So I promised you I'd go live, and I'm going to. So I'm going to shift my camera and stand up, and then I'm going to share with you the conversation I have live, because this is kind of for me, hopefully for you. And that means that I'm going to practice this, being live with them, communicating live off the cuff. I'm not reading, I'm just connecting directly. And I hope this helps you and that it's informational and inspiring to you. You've given me some really great ideas and given me some ways to think about this from a different perspective, and I really do appreciate you helping me with this. Now, I'd like to get into this deeper, and I'd like to ask you some more questions and see what you can share with me. I want to know why it is that you say that we are so deep and so complex. Like, what is it that we're missing as humans as to why we don't understand this and why we don't remember like all the stuff that went before and what we consist of? Because it seems like we're pretty much all focused on just this idea of life, money, kids, politics, all this stuff. And yet it seems to me that all this stuff that's going on inside us, the depth and the complexity, is a much more interesting and greater view of us. Like, we think ourselves with all our frailties and our fears and our concerns and focus on that primarily. But there's much, much more to us, right? There's much much greater concepts and ideas that are available to us. And I don't know why we're not like tuning into that. And I mean, I kind of know why, because it's kind of difficult and it takes a lot of concentration and focus. But from your perspective, what do you want to share with this with this regard? As you say, there are many distractions. There are many things going on around you. There are many things happening in the world. There are tragedies and developments and disasters, and people are hurting, and people are fighting, and people are trying to take over countries. People are trying to be this way and be that way. And all of this news tends to fill you up with fear and concerns and worries about who you are, about what you are, and about what's possible for you. Because the last thing you want is to be hungry or hurt or have an illness or need some help. You want to be strong and capable and be able to take care of yourself. The last thing you want is a disease or something that's going to take you down, or something that's going to make you feel like you're less or less capable of being able to live, or most of all, to be able to love and to enjoy life. So this is why we're having this conversation, is to help you to understand. There are so many complex aspects of you when you just think about just your body. Think about how many processes are going on in your body right now. You think about the obvious, which is your sight and your voice and your hearing and your body processes like eating, of being able to move, of being able to do the things that you do. And when those things are taken away from you, then you recognize that these things are very important to you. They're very interesting with regards to you being able to fulfill what you want to do and how you want to behave. You want to be able to play and to enjoy and to learn and to develop. And so it makes a very challenging area for you, but you have to realize is all the intelligence that's flowing inside you. Your brain and the universe and the intelligence that's flowing around you is truly remarkable, that you can be here, you can stand, you can see, you can talk, you can express. Think of all the processes that are going on in your body, the processes of your lungs, of your bloodstream, of your legs, of your arms, of your muscles, of your eyes, your brain. All these things are going on in real time. And it's truly remarkable when you think about how much is going on with you at any one time. Now, when you go to the deeper level, which is the soul level, then you have some really interesting things that start to show up, because the soul is connected to the all. It's connected to the universe. And think about all the complexity of the universe. Think about the earth and the worlds beyond and the sun and all the things that are going on at this small little tiny level that you can see. And then you expand that into billions of light years and what's going on there. So to be in the middle of all this is very, very curious and very interesting for you. Imagine all these processes that are going on in your body. Imagine all the processes that are going on at soul level, because you're accumulating information from the universe, from your brain, from other people, all the interactions of billions of people, all working together, all assimilating information, all moving, all changing, all growing. Can you see the level of complexity is there? And then when you look at all the connections that are available to each one of you, like each one of you, when you talk about this concept or that concept, then you're assimilating, you're thinking about this idea, and you're developing and growing. That whole level of complexity, because you change your emotion, you change your behavior, you change your feelings about something, and then what happens is that you shift and another person sees you shift, and then they make some adjustments because of what you do and what you say. And there's all these interactions, hundreds of thousands of interactions, even with one person, and that all ripples out to other people, and it all changes and massages the whole process. So there's a really beautiful, complex interactions that are going on. And then when you combine that with the complexity of who you are, Think about all the different aspects of you. You have these different emotions, these different feelings, these different concepts, these different ideas that are going on with you. You're sad, you're happy, you're joyful, you're elated, you're confused, you're frustrated. There's all these different things going on. Each one of those is a piece of you. The part that you rarely get to see, but the part that is probably the most important to you is the part of you that is divine. It's the male divine, it's the female divine, it's who you are at the inside, which is starting to show up when you become joyful, when you become loving, when you become loyal, when you see other people and you help them out and you transition to a giver, of a healer. When you do all these things, then what you're doing is you're expressing these different components that are a part of you. The different divine components, sometimes they show up a lot, sometimes they're hidden for years. And so what you have is an opportunity to be able to see yourself in different ways as someone who is divine, who is connected, who is contributing to the all, who's trying to elevate and develop the progress of everyone. And that's the divine side of you. That's the God, that's the goddess in you. That's the aspect of you that is striving to make things better, to have people be more loving, more kind, more interesting, more connected. That part of you, when that component shows up, then that is also creating waves, creating reflections, creating changes in the world. And all those changes that you make as a result of that inspiration flow to other people. They are not only a reflection for you to see yourself, but they also move in waves and in flows throughout the whole universe, because every one of you, when you feel better, you shift and then another person shifts. And when you love and care, then another person loves and cares. And those ripples just continue on throughout the universe. Not just in your earth, because we're all connected, and so all of the unembodied components are also listening and caring and doing things for you, and you have an effect on them as well. And so we all are in the process of growing this beautiful, new, thriving universe that is full of love, care, and insights. Now you can see a little bit more about the depth of what you are and the complexity of all the interactions. But the depth doesn't become visible to you until you make these inquiries, until you think, until you ponder and look at the different ideas and concepts that are showing up for you. And this inquiry you have to ask us, those who are the caretakers of the knowledge and the wisdom of the universe, this inquiry is very important for you, because in the process, you gain some new wisdom and knowledge that you never had before, that you cannot get in any other source, because that information, that knowledge is only retained in one place in the universe with these different components. So it's important for you to continue to ask and to ponder and to think, and then act on whatever it is you get, because this is the process of making things better, of seeing your depth, of seeing your capabilities, of seeing your possibilities. And by doing this and seeing yourself as a key element of the application of beautiful, loving, great concepts, by doing this, then what you're doing is you're seeing yourself in a different way, and also shifting the all. You're elevating things in a very small way, but each one of those small ways from each one of you is very key and very important to the comfortability, the sustainability, the love that's available from everybody in the universe. There's much more to learn, and so it's important for you to ask new questions, better questions, and then to continue to establish this connection, share these communications, share the ideas that you receive, because this is going to ripple into other places and help other people to see themselves better in more depth and more complexity. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the ideas, all the help through all these many years, and I appreciate you sharing. So back to you. You're a key part of the universe. You're a key portion of the steps that we all need to make this a better place, to make it a more loving, caring, develop a more healthy, safe, secure space for all of us. And you do your part and everybody else does their part, and we start to elevate and grow, or continue to elevate and grow the universe, so that we can all come together in this place of love and care. I love you, and I want the best for you and the most interesting evolution into the highest version and the most beautiful version of you. Thank you.